Parkinson's disease and its relationship with vascular damage. A quantitative and clear perspective. Number 1368, VMT Sharp 709, September 26, 2025. Gerald C. Shu, EclaireMD Foundation. Category: Neuroscience. Mission statement: I write these medical papers not for fame or recognition, since I have already lived a long and successful life, though not always a healthy one. My purpose now is to share what I have learned about health, disease, and medicine, so that others can better understand their own conditions, prevent illness, and live longer, healthier lives. Preface: For many years, my understanding of dementia, both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases, was limited to surface-level explanations from general reading of medicine. I knew the terms and the common symptoms, but I had not fully connected them with my broader medical research journey. That changed after my stroke in June 2025. This recent event forced me to re-examine the brain with greater urgency. I spent weeks reading over 6,000 pages of scientific material and, more importantly, revisiting my own 16 years of health data. When I looked at my life history through this deeper lens, I saw one central theme: progressive damage to blood vessels. Whether it was diabetes, kidney problems, heart disease, eye disease, or nerve complications, all pointed to the same underlying issue. Vascular damage was the common thread. This realization helped me understand that neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's are not only brain problems, they are part of a larger story of systemic vascular health. Parkinson's disease, symptoms and mechanisms. Parkinson's disease, PD, is the second most common brain disorder after Alzheimer's. Unlike Alzheimer's, which usually begins with memory decline, Parkinson's starts with movement problems. People may move more slowly, bradykinesia. Hands or arms may tremble, tremor. Muscles may become stiff, rigidity. Balance and walking may become unstable, postural instability. At the biological level, these changes occur because a small region of the brain called the substantia nigra loses its nerve cells. These cells normally produce dopamine, a chemical messenger that acts like oil in a machine, allowing smooth and coordinated movements. When dopamine drops, movements become jerky and difficult. Another feature of PD is the buildup of abnormal proteins called alpha-synuclein, which clump into structures known as Lewy bodies. These clumps act like piles of garbage inside nerve cells, blocking normal functions and speeding up cell death. This process is similar to Alzheimer's, where different proteins, amyloid and tau, choke off the brain's memory centers. But protein buildup is only half of the story. Increasingly, research shows that blood vessel damage is just as important. In both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, without healthy blood vessels, brain cells lose their supply of oxygen and nutrients, making them more fragile and vulnerable to disease. Global burden of PD. United States, about 1 million people today, projected to reach 1.5 million by 2030. United Kingdom, more than 145,000 cases, expected to rise by 1/3 in a decade. Japan, over 200,000 cases, now, projected to double by 2040 due to an aging population. Taiwan, rapidly rising, among the top causes of disability in older adults. Though Parkinson's affects fewer people than Alzheimer's, it is one of the fastest growing brain disorders worldwide. The social and healthcare burden is large and will only increase. Blood vessel damage and PD. For decades, Parkinson's was described simply as dopamine loss. Today, we know vessel health plays a major role. Large arteries, macrovessels. When arteries stiffen, blood flow to the brain is reduced. The basal ganglia, which control movement, suffer from poor supply of oxygen and nutrients. Small vessels, microvessels, narrowing or blockage in capillaries can cause silent strokes. When this happens in the substantia nigra, dopamine cells die faster. Blood-brain barrier. This protective shield becomes leaky, allowing harmful toxins and inflammatory signals into the brain. Shared risk factors, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and poor sleep all accelerate vascular injury, producing oxidative stress and cell energy failure. Thus, Parkinson's is not random. It is the result of aging, protein buildup, and vascular damage acting together. 5 key risk factors for PD. From my 16 years of health data, from 2010 to 2025, I selected 5 factors that are both measurable and modifiable. 1. Health age. Biological health age is more important than conventional calendar age. A disciplined lifestyle can keep biological age younger, lowering disease risk. My own estimate of health age is based on 10 metabolism-related biomarkers and detailed lifestyle measures. 2. Pulse pressure, PP, the gap between systolic and diastolic blood pressure. A wide gap means stiffer arteries or vessels, limiting blood supply to the brain. 3. Fasting plasma glucose in early morning, FPG. High glucose damages vessels and promotes protein clumping in the brain. Diabetes increases PD risk. 4. Sleep score, both hours and quality. Deep sleep helps the brain wash away toxic proteins, acting like a nightly cleaning process. Poor or fragmented sleep allows waste buildup, accelerating PD. 5. Walking steps. Regular walking strengthens vessels and lowers metabolic stress. A sudden decline in steps can signal early PD or other health decline. The PD risk index equation. To combine these 5 risk factors, I built the following formula. The formula for the PD index is as follows. Weights, health age, 30%, and sleep, 20%, are the strongest drivers. Pulse pressure, 20%, fasting glucose, 15%, and steps, 15%. Add important but smaller effects. VMT energy results. From 2010 to 2025, using the energy model of viscoplastic medicine theory, VMT, I tracked how these 5 factors shaped my PD risk over past 16 years. Overall VMT energy contribution ratios. FPG is 25.3%, steps is 23.5%, sleep is 21.4%, health age is 15.4%, PP is 14.5%. Year-by-year trends. 2010 to 2013, FPG was dangerously high, 220, 137 mg per deciliter. Health age stayed above 72. Steps were low, approximately 4K to 7K. PD index exceeded 165, extremely high risk. 2014 to 2016, glucose improved to 117 to 128 mg per deciliter. Health age dropped below 70. Steps rose to 15K to 17K. Risk fell sharply, with PD index near 96 to 107. 2017 to 2019, glucose stabilized around 114 to 120 mg per deciliter. Sleep score remained lower at 0.62, mean better sleep conditions. PP climbed into the 40s. PD index plateaued near 95 to 100. 2020 to 2022, FPG dropped further to 90 to 101 mg per deciliter. Health age held steady around 63 to 65. Steps declined slightly from 16K, 14K. PD index improved to approximately 91 to 96. 2023 to 2025, FPG near normal at 87 to 90 mg per deciliter. Sleep score rises modestly, 0.45 to 0.47. Waking steps fell further to approximately 10K in 2025. Due to recent stroke recovery, PP rose close to 50, obvious vessel stiffness. PD index stabilized at approximately 95. Interpretation, cause-effect reasoning. High FPG, vessel damage, faster dopamine cell death. My data prove that lowering glucose from 220 to 87 reduced strain energy dramatically. High PP, stiff arteries, poor blood supply to brain. Even with good glucose and waking steps, my PD index rose whenever PP widened. Poor sleep, toxic proteins accumulate, Lewy bodies worsen. Gains in glucose control were reinforced once my sleep score improved. Low walking steps, weaker circulation plus early marker of PD. After my recent stroke, reduced walking steps raised PD risk, showing mobility decline itself can worsen vessel health. High health age, compounded risks. Biological age integrates multiple systems, lowering it by approximately 8 years, helped reduce PD strain by nearly half. The VMT model shows that Parkinson's risk is not random. It follows a measurable pathway of vascular stress and neuronal strain. Personal reflection. Over 35 years, I have faced obesity, diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, eye disease, nerve damage, and stroke. Both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's are major diseases I have not yet experienced. That is why I am studying it now. To understand my risks and prevent its onset. My early decades of neglect caused irreversible vessel damage. But since 2010, strict lifestyle discipline, diet, walking, sleep, stress management, has stabilized my health and cut my PD risk nearly in half. This is living proof that it is never too late to change direction. Conclusion. Parkinson's disease is not just an accident of aging. It is tied closely to blood vessel health and metabolic control. From my personal longitudinal data and VMT energy analysis. 5. Measurable factors, health age, pulse pressure, fasting glucose, sleep, and steps, can be combined into a practical PD index. This index shows how lifestyle changes can shift the trajectory of PD risk. The message is simple: protect your vessels, control glucose, sleep well and deeply, and keep walking. By doing so, we not only guard the heart and kidneys but also the brain. Parkinson's disease, like Alzheimer's, can be delayed or prevented through disciplined lifestyle management. Disclaimer: this content is for educational reference only and not medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this study freely, but it must not be edited or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C. Shue.